This is Sharon Cole from Water Lily Therapies, and I'd like to talk to you about reflexology and the power of what it can do and what it can't do. Now, reflexology is super powerful and great at healing, but there are certain limitations of what it can and can't do. So what it can do is access the body's healing processes. It can access the reflexes, particularly in the hands, which is what we're going to focus on because that's really good for self-care and easy to access. But you can also do it on your feet, your face, and there is ear reflexology as well. And what it does is this tunes in to the body's natural healing process via the nervous system. So it can access the systems, it can tell the body what it can do, but there are certain things it can't do. So say, for example, if you were born without a limb, if you were born without an arm, it's not going to be able to replace your arm. Also, if you've got certain conditions like autoimmune conditions where there are no actual physical cures at the minute, it can't cure something. It can certainly help with the symptoms, reduce the symptoms and get the body back into a state of homeostasis, which means you might not be struggling with that condition, but it can't cure any condition that isn't necessarily curable. Let's take an eye, for example. I have a lazy eye on my left side. This means the brain optical nerve didn't quite develop properly when I was a child. So this is always going to be a lazy eye. Now, that means my right eye does all the work and gets very tired. Now, reflexology can help balance that out and give my eyes a bit of energy back, but it's not going to be able to cure the lazy eye. I can't now go back and develop that connection between the optical nerve and the brain. It's not going to be able to fix that. But it can certainly give my eyes the energy to stop with the blurriness, the tiredness, and all the rest of it. It's really, really good at accessing the central nervous system, which is why it's really good for calming the body and helping with stress. So say, for example, if I broke my arm, I've broken my wrist in the past, it can't realign the bones in the wrist. I would still need to go to hospital to get that realigned and plastered so that that heals. But it can certainly help calm the nervous system with the trauma of breaking my wrist. And it can certainly help with the healing process afterwards as that begins to re-knit itself back together and do all that lovely healing process. It can access the immune system, which is going to build all those cells and put everything back in place. So basically, you're going to connect to the body's natural healing ability. So the body knows here, it knows the difference between a bone cell and an eye cell. So it's not going to put an eye cell in my bones to heal that, and it's not going to put a bone cell in my eyes to heal that. The body's not going to get confused. It's just going to tap in to what it already knows how to do. It's going to tap into your DNA, into your healing process, and start that process in the background. So even if you've been struggling for something for a really long time, so say you've had IBS for sort of 10 years, it's not that, again, it's going to be able to cure that IBS, but it can go back and start developing the process to start healing the stomach muscles. So it may be able to switch the digestive system back on, so you'll be able to start absorbing your nutrients properly again. The stomach muscles will be able to relax, so you won't get that really tight, knotted, painful feeling in your stomach that you can often get with IBS, and it can start things moving through the system at a normal rate. So there are certain things it certainly can do to help and certain things it can't. So as long as you bear that in mind while you're doing your hand reflexology or whatever modality you prefer to choose, then you'll be working with the system at its best form and you will still be able to experience the health and wellness that comes along with using reflexology. I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.